Hey there folks, Rel here. Today we'll be taking a very quick look at the Enhanced Targeting Implant in PlanetSide 2. The Enhanced Targeting Implant is the first implant you get on each character, and you get it for free. So even if you start up a brand new character, all you need to do is just equip the thing in the implant slot, and away you go. This implant does not show up on the construction page, so you can't recycle it, you can't upgrade it, and likewise, this implant does not drop like other implants do. Enhanced Targeting is a Tier 1 implant in that it does not upgrade into Tier 2 or Tier 3, it just is what it is. So since it's a Tier 1 implant, it's going to drain 0.5 energy per second anytime it is equipped and your character is alive. The Enhanced Targeting implant has two main effects. The first is that your crosshair is going to turn red while hovering over an enemy up until about 60 meters. This happens in normal play as well, but the range is much shorter. With the extended range, you can easily scan for enemies that you can't actually see due to camouflage or due to explosions or the darkness of night, and if the crosshair turns red, then you know that you can press the spotting key, which is Q by default, and then ping the target. Invisible enemies won't turn the crosshair red, but uncloaked infantry, vehicles, and equipment will. The second effect is that while aiming at an enemy who is already spotted, it will display their current health. Now this doesn't take into account shields or overshields, only health. This works against infantry, max units, vehicles, and turrets, and it can also be used while inside of a vehicle yourself. A couple quirks regarding this effect is that a spotted rumble seat passenger will not display their infantry health, but they're only going to display the health of the vehicle that they're riding in. It's also worth noting that enemy vehicles auto-spot themselves while you are near them, at least for the purposes of detecting their health with this implant. So basically, if they're close enough that they show up on the minimap, they're going to count as spotted to you. However, if the enemy vehicle is running a stealth defensive slot, then it's going to negate this detection range and actually require you to spot them. As far as the usefulness of this implant goes, the effects may seem underwhelming at first, but that really couldn't be further from the truth. If you know how much health your enemy has, that gives you a huge advantage in a number of situations. The first is just picking off a weakened target. General infantry can pick which targets to initiate on. This leads to shorter engagements, more ammo conserved, and just being able to dismantle part of a group by taking out their weakest gun. Snipers will know when a body shot will be enough to gib someone. Light assaults will know if just one C4 brick is enough to take out the vehicle, even if it isn't damaged enough to start smoking. And against max units, you can more clearly tell when you could finish off a max unit with your primary, or when you'll need to swap your rocket launcher, or when you'll need to turn and run the other direction. Also, if you're an engineer just sitting on an AV turret sniping that enemy Sunderer from 400 meters, you won't just sit there kind of wondering to yourself whether or not you're going to destroy it, whether or not your damage is going to outpace the enemy's repairs. You'll just know by looking at the health bar. Likewise, if you're running in a vehicle, you can tell which targets to engage first, or if you're gunning a Liberator, you can tell whether or not your Dalton hit directly. And as a fun side note, in the earlier days of PlanetSide 2, you actually used to see the enemy's health bars at all times. This led to a lot of people getting picked off when they're trying to run across an open field, even in a group, because everyone wants to pick the guy with the least amount of health, and that just makes sense. In the game's current state though, you can't see enemy health bars unless you're within 10 meters of your target and they're Q-spotted. This is basically worthless in any functional sense, as you're practically shaking hands with the enemy at that range. Overall, I think this is a great baseline implant that gives you a tangible edge in combat, and it's much less situational than the vast majority of implants available. So if you aren't trying to conserve energy, or just don't know which implant you should be using, this is a really good place to start. If this video has been interesting, helpful, or entertaining, please feel free to like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and if there's anything I missed, or if you found this implant particularly useful, or if you have a favorite implant, then let me know in the comments section down below. Thanks very much folks, we're all signing off.